Here.
Climate is king.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that caring for the community means caring about the climate. You might have heard that we announced a pretty bold 12-month, $2 million campaign to do 4 things. Increase climate literacy, turn up the volume on communities of color in the climate conversation, connect everyday people with the resources they need to survive and thrive, and highlight frontline climate justice crusaders of color throughout this year. KBLA Talk 1580 will be bringing you insightful interviews on all of our shows to help raise your climate IQ. Each quarter this year, we will also be hosting free climate events in various communities throughout the city with food, fun, and forward-thinking conversations. Thanks to partners like LADWP, Metro, Caltrans, the Sierra Club, the California Community Foundation, the California Endowment, AQMD, MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss you. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn!
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
The world is becoming more and more superficial.
Yes.
More and more money-minded, if I may use money, power, position, fulfillment,
Possession.
identification, me. All this being encouraged by everything around you, right? Now you who have traveled, who have seen all this too, what do you make of all this business? There are these extraordinarily intelligent people, clever people.
The world is becoming more and more superficial. Money, power, materialism, accumulation. You know, the great Krishnamurti, man, very powerful stuff. And when you get into a relationship with a mindset like that, the ego becomes supercharged. Does your ego have you stuck like Chuck? Stagnancy and suffering. Is your ego the little devil sitting on your shoulder, constantly pushing you towards more and more and more, right? Where you're not satisfied in the moment with the now. The contribution of the ego to stagnancy and suffering. The egoic God complex contributes to personal and relational stagnancy by resisting change and growth. It clings to the familiar patterns and resists vulnerability, which is wounding, which is pain, which is hurting. In order for a relationship to grow, both partners must be vulnerable, open, and feel pain. This prevents us from evolving as individuals and as a couple. The ego's need for control and validation can hinder the exploration of new possibilities and limit our ability to adapt to changing dynamics of the relationship. Relational suffering, self-imposed or external factors. Relational suffering can be both self-imposed and influenced by external factors. While external circumstances may contribute to challenges in the relationship, our response to these circumstances is within our control. I heard it said another way, right? It's not the issue that is your issue. It's how you respond to the issue that is your issue. That was Mary Hulnick from the University of Santa Monica. Her and her husband, Ron Hulnick, have a spiritual university in the city of Santa Monica. Right? How you respond to the issue is actually your issue. Listen to that. The ego's need for control and validation can hinder the exploration of new possibilities, man. If we cultivate awareness and start practicing self-reflection, we might be able to reduce self-imposed suffering and navigate external challenges to our relationships more effectively. Now, let me bring back Attila from Houston, Texas. She is the one who created this topic, and we're having a great time dissecting it. Attila, please finish, because you were cooking.
Yes. So I forgot what I was saying before.
Lord, Attila?
But let me just say this, though. Your limiting beliefs are what you have to discover in order to figure out the whole stagnancy thing. And again, like I said, if you got it in one area of your life, chances are you got it in multiple areas. So again, the woe is me thing that's like a clear sign of stagnancy, in my opinion. Truemonger, I'm gonna call you out. I just want to break out my tiny violins, bro. Mm-hmm. Like, if your concept is constantly about what the world is like and how bad things are, whatever the case may be, you can't be surprised when you're reaping what you're sowing, the words that you're sowing in your relational life. You're sowing negativity. Like, what else would come to you but that? There literally is no other way around that. And I think that we have to start first with our thoughts and the way that we feel about ourselves. Again, what is it that's telling you you can't? Figure that out. You know, figure out how to reverse it and then kind of go from there. But we are causing our own suffering, and I think it's important to understand that before we're bleeding out on our partner.
But don't you need an example to be able to model yourself after? You know, some positive example?
Sure. I mean, there's a lot of resources out there. You are an example to me, Uncle Zoe.
Thank you. Wow.
Yes. And I'm not saying that I'm not saying that because you're my uncle. I'm saying this because I've watched you enough to see your growth, right? I think the ability to be as transparent as you have been with your own life, that is the example. Start there.
Okay, thank you, Attila. Don't put me out. Lord have mercy.
I mean, I'm just saying to see you be willing to do your self-work on a world stage is important.
Wow.
Because a lot of people can't even do it in the privacy of their own homes. So start there.
Well, I appreciate you. Guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is in the building. Come join this national discussion. That's what it is. People call from all over the country because they are moved. They have ideas about what we're saying. And guess what? There will be no judgment if you call. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. When I come forward, I'm going to Cleveland, Ohio. And all I got to say, I love this couple, but Andy, be ready. Be ready, because they cuss. Now, I need y'all not to cuss. But Andy, the whole time they on the phone, I want you to have that finger right on that button. When we come forward, we going to Cleveland.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here The reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
The possibility of lung cancer can be pretty scary, especially if you're one of approximately 8 million current or former smokers at high risk. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know that now there's a breakthrough low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early, and it only takes 60 seconds. You stop smoking, now start screening. For an easy quiz to see if you're eligible, visit SaveByTheScan.org. It could save your life. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Did you know there's a way to outsmart COVID if you get it? Now there are medicines that can treat COVID, whether or not you've been vaccinated, which is great news, especially if you're over 50. If taken in the first 5 days of having symptoms, COVID medicines can help stop the illness from getting serious. Call a healthcare provider or the statewide COVID hotline at 833-422-4255 to learn more about COVID medicines. Brought to you by the California Department of Public Health.
Granddad, what's good?
Hey there, got us a quarter pounder with cheese and McNuggets.
Wow, haven't had our special McDonald's order in a minute.
Heard your little tic-tac-toe dance didn't get no likes.
Oh man, is Mom telling everybody?
You know she is.
There's a deal for every favorite grandson at McDonald's. Right now, get one favorite like a quarter pounder with cheese or 10-piece chicken McNuggets and get another for just $1. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer. Valid for item of equal or lesser value.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit LAFLA.org. LAFLA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
If you allow, I would like to leave this whole identity.
Okay. Anyone else can join, it works like that actually, it's not specific, if you feel this is something that appeals to you, you have a sense of what that means for you. Maybe I ask you what it means for you.
I see that life cannot be lived longer from any
Cannot be lived what?
Longer.
Longer. I have appointment to see here doctor soon, not hearing something, but to live longer, functioning only on personal identity.
Any kind of identity.
Any kind of. So supposing you would have seeing what you say, if this is what you really say, you have seen by your own power that it doesn't work actually, that life lived merely under the government of a personal self, of ego. It doesn't work for you. If you come you come to see that, because that's a very, very rare thing for a human being to say. That at the place of my person is not working, because they say we are 7.5 billion human beings currently together. How many will say this? I don't know. Even you hit rock bottom, even sick, dying. Who is saying like that? That, yeah, it doesn't work. It's not, oh, life doesn't work. No, it doesn't work with this one in charge. You hear? Why my ears clinking? What is he saying?
That is the great Muji speaking about how ego is problematic. Now, I'm sure at some point modern day psychology will catch up to spirituality, hopefully. It's already starting to go in that direction. Muji is saying our ego is part of the problem, especially in relationship, because our ego has a lot to say about forgiveness, about give and take, about empathy, about compassion, about connection. I always say ego is connected to desire. Desire is another word for expectation. Krishnamurti said it this way: desire is part of pleasure. The fulfillment of desire is the very nature of pleasure. Desire may be the cause of disorder, each one wanting to fulfill his own particular desire. Do we not come into the relationship hoping that our desires will be fulfilled externally? Do we not do that? Do we know how to fulfill ourselves? If God is in us, God is with us, and we are one with all things, shouldn't fulfillment come from within? That isn't to say connection with another. That isn't to say being with someone else or wanting to share with someone else is a bad thing. But if that's all you have in terms of fulfillment, are you not set up for the toxic opiate known as attachment? Trauma bonding? I want you to hear it. Let me read it again. Desire is a part of pleasure. Now remember, when you pursue pleasure, you pursue its identical twin. And it's such a twin that it has the same body. It's a two-headed twin. You pursue pain when you pursue pleasure. That's just what it is. Biggie told you when he said, more money, more problems. Many of us think the more money we get, the less problems we'll have. That is simply not true. Desire is a part of pleasure. The fulfillment of desire is the very nature of pleasure. Desire may be the cause of disorder, each one wanting to fulfill his own particular desire. Now, Krishnamurti said, desire may be the cause of disorder. Well, in physics, disorder is known as entropy. The longer a thermodynamic system goes on, the more it falls into a state of entropy, which is chaos. And chaos in the thermodynamic sense means the spark is lost. The energy is still there. It's just been transmuted, and now you can't access it anymore. Don't relationships get old like that? Relational entropy. Why? Because you've spent so much time chasing fulfillment externally from another. I called it relational obsolescence in the holographic relationship book I wrote, as well as The Shrouded Lighthouse. It's heavy stuff we're covering tonight, but it's important that you understand how the ego erodes your connection when it is unchecked. We got Toya from Cleveland. Get in here. Toya and Will are married couple. Come on in here, talk to us. You got to turn your living room down, though. You got to turn your life down just a little bit because we can hear the feedback.
Okay. Right.
Hey, bro.
How you guys doing? What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Well, Happy New Year, first of all, though. I hope everybody in the family is doing well, especially your brother. I prayed for him. Hopefully he's doing well.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. I think he's doing pretty good now.
That makes me smile. Yeah, about the topic, it was about the ego. Okay. So me and my husband, we are married. We've been together since 2001. Yay. And the ego thing that I was thinking about is we're coming up on an anniversary, and I'm excited to tell my friends because I'm letting them know, like, yeah, look what I did. I did that. However, if you look into our relationship, there's ups and downs all through it. It's a 22-year-old relationship. So, yeah. So I was like, okay, we're coming up on 14 years, babe. This is our 13 years being married, like legally. So I was like, okay, let me think about when we were about to get married. Let me just think about the people I know that are married, like, you know, my mom and dad. My grandma, granddad, great-grandma, great-granddad. And I always noticed that it was one thing about all of the women in those relationships. They always complained. And so when we got married, me and my husband, Will, the first question I asked him after we got married was, why you say I do like that? Thank you, you two. You've been far too kind.
Hey, why you say I do like that? Lord, what happened? Oh, Lord, the call tried. Yo, Toya, please, Toya and Will call back. Why you say I do like that? God hung up on them like, y'all not finna come in here and play with Zoe tonight. God said, hang up the phone. Y'all playing. Call back, Toya, please. All right. Let me get to Truemonger from Dallas, Texas. Truemonger, get in here, man.
Oh, man. Yeah, God hung up on them because he
God dropped the phone like, Right.
Oh, man.
Hey, man, what are your thoughts, man, on tonight's topic, bro?
Yeah, ego could be very detrimental if you allow it to control you, which unfortunately a lot of people do because a lot of times many of us are full of ourselves. We convince ourselves and lie to ourselves so much and gas ourselves up so much that we think our stuff don't stink, even in relationships. Yeah, it can get stagnant. I've been through situations like that where it got a little stagnant. And you have to check it. Before anybody else can check it, it's probably best for you to check your own ego. You know, I mean, your partner could probably point out things that you may not necessarily see, which is a good thing, depending on how they do it. Because, you know, people don't always process information the right way. Because their feelings be in it.
Right.
They're too busy worrying about how it was said instead of paying attention to what was said. And we're all guilty of that. Once we put that to the side, we can actually focus on what was said, we could be better off. We could actually concentrate on what we don't do well, how we communicate, and all that good stuff. But people like to make excuses, say they don't have time to do it. A lot of times, people just won't make the time to check themselves. Because they feel like they got to stay on that hamster wheel, or that it's them, it's not me. I'm good. Maybe they got a problem. Which we all got stuff to work on. Once we're honest with ourselves, that'll give us a better start going forward. But people have to be willing to be honest. If they can't do that, it won't make a difference.
I love this, True. I love
their ego will always be in the way as long as they think like that.
Have you ever suffered, from your ego like intruding into a relationship and imposing, rigid beliefs and demands and expectations? Has your ego showed up like that before?
Looking back on certain situations, yeah. Because at the time, it may have just been something I wasn't going to go for. Not really thinking it through. Being in my feelings about whatever was said. Then processing it and thinking about it later on. Having a more sound way of thinking about it. But, those things happen. We're human. Those things are going to happen no matter what. It's just about handling them better going forward and being more patient with yourself. A lot of times people just aren't patient with themselves. You want to rush things, they'll be out of touch with reality. Like, everything is not going to happen exactly when you want it. Like you were talking about the other yesterday, I believe. You can't have a set timetable on everything.
Right.
Some things are going to happen when they're supposed to happen.
Right.
You just got to be patient. And most people are impatient. They want it, and they want it when they want it. Whether they're ready for it or not.
That's heavy, bro. That's heavy. Man, if you are enjoying the edifying words of Bishop Truemonger Clarence Hightower III, please, ushers, please pass the plate, because the brother just finished preaching a sermon that was rooted in the understanding of self and belaying the ego's thirsty demands for satiation. Yes? Well, no, sorry. Truemonger, guess what you just did, brother?
Oh, man, bro, Dallas in the building.
Yes, sir, man. Dallas, Texas is in the building. When I come forward, Zoe Williams will continue to cook. Look, if you want to bring your city, call me.
Your ways, be a one-woman man who's ready for a one-man woman. No more running, no careless fun man. Or you wake up to find your good thing going, baby. I know for sure. I said it before. I got a heart that they can do what they can, baby. Oh, there ain't been a woman yet who can love you like I can. There ain't been a woman
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. Former Baltimore Mayor Sheila Dixon's campaign says she raised over $520,000 last year in her effort to unseat Mayor Brandon Scott. The Democrat, who is black, has $370,000 on hand. Scott, who is also black, raised $682,000 and has over $835,000 on hand. Meanwhile, fellow Democratic candidate Bob Wallace has $230,000 on hand after raising $250,000 last year. Maryland Attorney General Anthony Brown has joined 21 other state attorney generals in urging the Biden administration to enact a ban on menthol cigarettes and flavored cigars. The attorney generals argue the review and implementation of the proposed FDA rules, which they say are supported by ample evidence, are long overdue. They say these cigarettes are especially appealing to minority communities and young people. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
California Baptist University has clinched the #1 spot for career preparedness and an impressive #2 for the best student experience, according to the Wall Street Journal. Find out how CBU's award-winning experience can help you live your purpose. Visit calbaptist.edu/here.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we do Black history every single day. In fact, as the only Black talk radio station west of the Mississippi, we are Black history. Our annual Black History Month luncheon is fast approaching, and we want to be sure to give you ample time to get your company, organization, church, or group to join us at this year's celebration on the last day of the month, Thursday, February 29th at noon. Last year, we honored iconic local Black media personalities, including Pat Harvey, Jim Hill, Mark Brown, Beverly White, Sandy Banks, and Pat Prescott, and raised $20,000 in scholarships. This year, we're honoring Black Hollywood creatives who have used their artistic genius as climate justice champions. At this year's luncheon, we will be showcasing and sharing their inspiring work on our big screen. Plus, a scrumptious meal, live music, great company, and lots of fun with your favorite KBLA Talk 1580 hosts. So contact us today at info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. That's info@smileyAudiomedia.com or call 323-290-4690. We hope to see you Thursday, February 29th as we close out Black History Month. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
I started vaping my freshman year of high school, mostly because all my friends had vapes. I wanted to fit in with them and look cool and be a part of everything that they were doing. The hardest part about quitting for me was all my friends still hitting their vapes right next to me. It was really frustrating and confusing when I was trying to quit because in my head I knew I didn't want to do it anymore, but for some reason my brain still wanted it.
No quit story is the same. For free support, text Kick Nicotine to 66819 today.
Cover California is a free service from the state that's already helped millions of people like you get and pay for health insurance. With financial help to lower the cost of health coverage, you could get a quality health plan for less than $10 a month. Every plan covers preventive care, doctor visits, emergency care, and more. If you have questions, we're here to help every step of the way. Cover California, this way to health insurance. Enroll by January 31st at coveredca.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment. LA's 99 neighborhood councils form the grassroots level of the Los Angeles city government. The system was created to connect LA's diverse communities to City Hall. While neighborhood council board members are volunteers, they are also public officials elected to office by the members of their community. Neighborhood councils advocate on issues like homelessness, housing, land use, emergency preparedness, public safety, parks, transportation, and sustainability. They also provide local expertise on the delivery of city services to their various communities. Neighborhood councils are open to participation by anyone who is a part of the fabric of daily life in said community. This includes those who live, work, or own property or a business. If you are interested in stepping up to join your local neighborhood council, visit www.empowerla.org. That's empowerla.org. It's time to think globally, but act locally. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you.
With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of reason.
Yo, so I got this two-timing chick who got her revenge from when I was on my two-time tip. And even when I tried to correct it, she couldn't get past how she was disrespected, neglected my effort, a pair with no trust, dirty games and affairs that been tearing us up. If things ain't picture perfect, is it really worth it? I have an idea, but I need to know for certain.
I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need a love doctor, and I need it right away. I'm calling you up. I'm calling you up. 'Cause I need to hear the doctor's voice of
Definition of ego is awareness in the service of fear. That's ego. Awareness in the service of fear. Now, awareness in the service of love is not ego at all. When I talk about ego, it's not about that you are aware of yourself or aware that you exist or aware of the capital I that is you. That's just awareness. Awareness is aware of self. Self-awareness. Okay, awareness is a good thing. That's you being conscious. All consciousness is aware. So let's say here's a difference between ego in the service of fear is typically ego that is trying to justify things. When you get upset, when you get angry, that's your ego. It's about you. You want things to be the way you want them. You have a sense of what's right and the way people should be. And when they're not that way, you find them annoying. You'd like to explain to them how they ought to be different. All of that's ego. You see, that's all you trying to control the world to be the way you want it. That's because you have fear that if the world isn't the way you want it, it's going to be bad. It's not going to be, it's going to be suboptimal because you know what's best. Well, everybody feels that way, that they know what's best, and they don't agree on what it is that they ought to be doing or what you ought to be doing. So it tends to be, ego versus ego out in the world is what we do. Most people make most of their choices, probably 80% of everybody's choices that they make are made out of fear, ego, and belief. It's the way we tend to operate. It's the nature of a high entropy consciousness to do that. So it's normal.
Pause that. It is the nature of a high entropy consciousness. He's saying the more... I'm so excited right now. I done put Eckhart Tolle. That was Thomas Campbell. I done put Moji. Jiddu Krishnamurti, all the clips to help you navigate the problem of your life. Do you understand? Do you see how he described the ego? No. We gonna finish that. But he said the things that the examples he gave, he buttoned it up by saying that is a high entropy consciousness. Entropy, this guy is a metaphysician now. He's into metaphysics now. But he started as a physicist. So he's here with a high entropy consciousness. In other words, your consciousness is always in disorder because fear is always demanding that the outside world becomes safe because your inside world isn't healed. Okay. And so God is such a genius. God says, you know what? The only way to know me is a relationship with me. That relationship is internal. Right? Oh, the only way to know yourself is relationships with others. Ooh, you got entropy because of who raised you and how you were molded, right? So now, get in a relationship with me so I can heal you. So now you can go out and discover you in relationship with others. Oh, like Maurice White said on the Fantasy song, play Fantasy from Earth, Wind, and Fire. You will find other kinds that has been in search of you. The law of attraction before the damn book came out, 1974. Let's get a piece of it. Okay, that's enough fire for Earth, Wind, and Fire. Do you understand what is happening on tonight's show? Your ego got you suffering. Your ego says, I'm too good for the treatment I received from you. Your ego says, do not look at your internal magnet that caused this person to come into your life so you could see the magnet. So you could see the problem. You know what? I hurt somebody. And you know what they tell me after I hurt them? You know what? But I learned. You know what? I participated in something that in my gut I knew I shouldn't have done. If that ain't God gifting you with an experience to reveal you to you, I don't know what is. Are y'all listening to the profundity of what's being delivered unto you tonight? Go back to Thomas.
Of a high entropy consciousness to do that. So it's normal. So my definition of ego as awareness in the service of fear turns out to be almost exactly the same thing as Freud's definition of ego. He had ego as the sense of self, but because most people are driven by fear, then most people's sense of self is ego and fear related, which makes my definition and Freud's definition about the same thing. Okay, so
just pause it. When we come forward, because Thomas Campbell is cooking something really special right now. I want you to understand why your relationship is bereft of continuous contentment, continuous happiness, continuous joy. Your ego said it felt good, it tastes good, keep it up, as opposed to saying thank you. When we come forward, we got more.
It's a dream, rushing by in a stream, bringing life to the kingdom of doing. Take a ride in the sky, on a ship fantasize. All your dreams will come true, miles away.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
COVID-19 renter protections are ending for City of Los Angeles tenants. Know your rights and these 3 facts. February 1st is the deadline to pay rental arrears for rent owed from October 1st, 2021 to January 31st, 2023. Residential tenants cannot be evicted without a reason or just cause. You have 5 days to respond to an eviction notice from the court. Learn more at housing.lacity.org. That's housing.lacity.org. Be informed. Be protected, be at home. KBLA Talk 1580 is the exclusive media sponsor of this light of ours, activist photographers of the civil rights movement. A dynamic new exhibition on view now at the Skirball Cultural Center in Los Angeles. This light of ours showcases more than 150 photos taken by movement insiders from diverse backgrounds that reveal the vital work undertaken by a broad coalition of organizers and everyday people whose collective action changed America. This light of ours is one of 3 temporary exhibitions currently on view at the Skirball, which together explore issues related to civil rights, immigration, and pluralism. Tickets and more information for all 3 exhibitions are available at skirball.org. That's skirball.org. SKIRBALL.org.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thing. Okay, so let's go to the other example. What is awareness in the service of love? Well, awareness in the service of love is awareness about other. It's about other people. How can I be helpful? as opposed to what can I get and what do I need and how can I get it. How can I give as opposed to what can I get. Awareness in the service of love is not about self. Fear is always about self. So when you are fearful, that fear is always about you. So anything that has to do with your fear is about you. It's self-centered, self-focused, and that's ego. So now it's very difficult sometimes to tell the difference between if you do an act or you do something, whether that's out of ego or whether that's not. That's not necessarily a clear thing to judge, because you have this ego is such that it justifies everything. So when you do something, your ego tells you that that's a good thing to do. You couldn't have done anything else. That was the best choice, and that's, that was a fine thing to do. And your ego will tell you.
Is he? I don't know. Andy, is he on? Is Thomas Campbell, the author of My Big Toe, The Theory of Everything, is he not cooking with the rarest grease we've seen? Talk to me.
This is definitely a video that I'm going to have to revisit.
Yes.
For sure, because he was definitely dropping some nuggets.
Woo! We got callers. Let's get them in here very quickly. Mimi, we up against the clock. Make it quick. Great to hear from you. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Great topic. I'm stagnant because I want to do my work, but I don't want to do my work, but I want what I want. So I'm kind of off balance right now.
It's okay. It's all right.
And I want to know, is there a way to kind of halfway do your work? And you know what I'm saying? Can you do your work but not always do your work and still get what you want?
Wow.
Is that possible?
Andy wants to answer your question.
No, I feel you, Mimi. It sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Zoe, sometimes in healing, right, there's a conflict, right? There's a conflict because in order to heal, you have to be intentional. And a lot of the times, we kind of just, I guess we're led by our emotions. We react a lot of the times without being aware of our intentions. So it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mimi, it just sounds like there's a conflict of interest, but yet you want to heal.
Well, yes.
Well, let's go even deeper, because that's a great point that Andy brought up. Desire is a part of pleasure. The fulfillment of desire is the very nature of desire. Desire may be the cause of disorder, each one wanting to fulfill his own particular desire. Krishnamurti. So let me go back. You're trying to skip the process. You have to go through the fire. And if I'm hearing you correctly, you said, I know I need to heal, but I don't want to. And why don't you want to? Because doing the work disrupts the peace. It disrupts the quiet. See, we was talking about this before the show. People got a misnomer, a misunderstanding of what healing is. Healing is not doing whatever you want. You cannot heal with your ego at the helm. See, your ego wants to feel good about it. Your ego wants to feel like it's getting something. Remember what Thomas Campbell just said. The ego is about getting. So many of us go into the healing process with ego as the captain because we want to get something. We don't want to observe our wounds. Observe them without judgment. Do you know how difficult it is to look at a wound without judging it? Damn, this shouldn't have never happened to me. Why did this happen to me? Damn, did I deserve this? God, where are you? Man, why do I keep attracting the same kind? Do you see what I'm saying? The ego is there dictating the whole healing process. So can you really heal if that's the case?
Right. So
Andy?
no skipping. No skipping.
What about I understand my role in the reason why I feel this way? Is that part of healing, like holding yourself accountable?
Listen, I understand. First off, accountability is really self-awareness. And in order to heal, You must see yourself as a creator of the experience you claim you didn't want. Do you see? It is your ego that says, like Thomas Campbell just said, you did the best you could. You couldn't have did anything other than what you did. That's your ego saying, let's skip the lesson. Let's skip accountability. Do you see?
Yeah.
Everybody like this, Mimi. So there's no judgment for you. There's nothing but love for you. But everybody is saying, when do the lessons stop? When do I get what I want? Right. I'm tired of going through this. How many more times I said it to God today. I had a full argument with God in the park today. So I'm just trying to point this out. We play this game. We act like we really want elevation. Love is synonymous with God. We want God in our relationships. But we won't let go of the ego, which is the devil. Remember I said the ego is that little red devil sitting on your shoulder saying you did the best you could. You tired. That's who's whispering fatigue into your spirit. It's your ego. How long I got to do this? Why do I got to keep doing this? Why am I called to this situation? Because God is saying, don't you know love is infinite? Like me, like you, the me and the you of it is irrelevant. Does this make sense to you, Mimi?
You Geminis, I love y'all.
Well, listen, I appreciate you. You brought Jacksonville in the building. Let me get Theo, Charleston, South Carolina. Get in here, man.
No, you get on my damn, excuse my language. Oh my God, you just dropping jewels just now. So I gotta go with it real fast. So you just said it to me and to my spirit and to my ego and to my desire, pride, all of that. I hear you just said the word, the awareness. If I'm aware of how I'm listening to podcasts, how I'm listening to shows, I'm listening to your show, I may be listening to the therapist online. To me, of course I want to go to therapy, right? But if I do myself the service of listening to these therapists before I get in the room, I already know what they're going to sometimes even hit me with. Now, my pushback is not to like, see, I told you so. See, I told you so. It's not to do that. It's just to say, hey, at some point, accountability got to be, say, you know what, this one's on me. This one is on me. I'm going to take accountability for my actions in this moment. But what doesn't show up is the awareness of that. And I'm frustrated with not getting accountability because
let me stop you. Let me stop you. Frustration is for children.
Good point. Good point.
When a child is looking for that damn pacifier, they get frustrated.
Right.
Then they get angry. Then they start crying and kicking and doing everything else. You give them the pacifier, they calm down. You have to understand, man, being disappointed, dissatisfied, or not happy in a situation is par for the course. We all, me too, me included, we got to learn how to sit in it. I appreciate you, Theo. Thank you for the call. Up next, my girl, your girl, our friend, Jill Monroe, RSVP with Jill Monroe. The fire continues. Deuces.
Trying to keep it just like before. Times when I never even thought to speak. Don't want to tell you what it is. For a way it felt so serious. Got me thinking just too much. I want to shut it out. But it's this one thing that got me tripping. It's this one thing that got me tripping. You did this one thing, so made me feel it. It's this one thing you did.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the